And just when you think the transfer portal is about to slow down, we get some huge news with players making their commitments and others withdrawing from the NBA draft. And in today's video, we're going over all of the latest transfer portal updates. Let's jump into it. And to start us off, we have some of the biggest news as just 1 week after withdrawing from the NBA draft, Arkansas transfer and former McDonald's All-American Boogie Fland has officially committed to the defending national champions, the Florida Gators. Fland is a 6'3" guard and one of the top freshmen in the country last season. He averaged 15 points, 5.5 assists before suffering a hand injury in the middle of the year, but the Gators gained a strong momentum in Fland's recruitment over the past week, and helped by the connection to Mike Miller, a Florida alum who is representing Boogie Fland. Now he'll join head coach Todd Golden's up-tempo system in Gainesville and form one of the nation's most dangerous backcourts alongside Princeton transfer Xavier Lee. This move is a massive win for Florida, who pulled off a portal masterclass this offseason so far, and Fland was ranked as the top 10 transfer in the portal and one of the best guards that was available. And he visited Gainesville over this past weekend and finalized a lucrative NIL deal reportedly worth over $2 million. And with Thomas Houck primed for a breakout season and the likely return of Alex Condon from the NBA draft process, Florida is shaping up to be a top 5 preseason team and a serious contender to repeat. Another commitment we had was former 4-star guard and LSU transfer Curtis Givens, who is heading home with his commitment to Penny Hardaway and the Memphis Tigers. The 6'4" Memphis native visited the Tigers last week and will now suit up for his hometown team next season. Givens averaged 5 points, 1.7 rebounds, and 1.6 assists in 18 minutes per game last season, and while his numbers weren't the best, his potential is what has Memphis the most excited. Known for his high basketball IQ and shooting ability, Givens brings long-term upside and depth to the point guard position, especially with the chance that PJ Haggerty does not return to Memphis next season. And the opportunity to grow in Hardaway's system could unlock his full potential. Memphis reportedly landed him with a solid NIL deal in the $300,000 range, which is great value for one of the top available guards that was in the portal. And this is a strong pickup, not only for now, but for the future of the Tigers program, and adds another layer of talent to a backcourt in need of some depth and some long-term stability. And we also had a huge name that is no longer going through the NBA draft process, as Texas Tech star Darrion Williams has officially withdrawn from the NBA draft and is now one of the top available players in the transfer portal. And after being projected as a mid to late second round pick, Williams' decision to return to college gives him a chance to raise his NBA stock for next season. The 6'6" all Big 12 forward averaged 15 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1 steal per game last season, while leading the Red Raiders to 28 wins in their first Elite 8 appearance since 2019. Two of the leaders to land Darrion Williams are Bill Self in the Kansas Jayhawks and Will Wade in the NC State Wolfpack. And while he hasn't ruled out a return to Texas Tech, it's looking less likely with the Red Raiders reloading around JT Toppin with some other new transfers of their own. He also has interest from Ohio State, Auburn, BYU, and others, and this is a massive opportunity for any program that lands him. And to me, I think Kansas is the front runner as of right now, but don't sleep on NC State. And another player that NC State is interested in is Memphis transfer guard and AAC Player of the Year PJ Haggerty. And Haggerty is reportedly very close to committing to Will Wade in the Wolfpack. And there have been some rumors that a potential super team could be forming in Raleigh with fellow transfer portal star Darrion Williams. And if Will Wade can close both of these deals, the Wolfpack would instantly become a serious national title contender, in my opinion. When Haggerty first entered the portal, he was asking for up to $4 million in NIL money and a guaranteed point guard role, which may have kept some teams from pursuing him, and I doubt he'll actually get that. But currently, Haggerty is still going through the NBA pre-draft process and has drawn some interest after a very strong NBA draft combine performance. But most of the NBA mock drafts still have him going undrafted at this point, which is why the expectation is that he will return to college next season, with NC State being the clear-cut favorite. and I'm predicting that once Haggerty does withdraw from the NBA draft, a commitment to Will Wade and the Wolfpack will come soon after. We also have some big news in the world of recruiting in college basketball, as Duke has emerged as the favorite to land international 5-star wing Dame Sarr, who just wrapped up an official visit to Durham. The 6'7" Italian standout had long been considered a Kansas lean, but with the Blue Devils anticipating Cedric Coward staying in the NBA draft, Jon Scheyer and his staff have turned up the heat. Sarr, who plays for FC Barcelona's EuroLeague squad, is a versatile shot creator and two-way wing with serious pro upside. He averaged 13.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 3 steals this past season, showing elite flashes of athleticism, defensive instincts, and a shooting touch, including 45% from 3 and 65% around the rim against pro-level competition overseas. And with the lottery potential in the 2026 NBA draft for Sarr, he would be a huge addition to Duke's stacked roster, which features the Boozer twins, Caleb Foster, Isaiah Evans, who is coming back, and if he commits, he's bringing spacing, versatility, and high IQ defense to a team that's already built for a deep March run. Kansas, Arizona, and Illinois were all in the mix early on, but Duke is closing in and could seal the deal here very soon. And Big Blue Nation had their own recruiting news, as Kentucky just landed a major piece for the future with the commitment of 6'8", 4-star wing Braydon Hawthorne, who chose the Wildcats over Duke, Pitt, Virginia Tech, and West Virginia. The long, athletic forward boasts a 7'3" wingspan and has massive potential and brings versatility, length, and raw tools that can be molded into something special in Lexington. Hawthorne was one of the top remaining prospects in the 2025 class that was uncommitted, and while he may not have an instant impact as a freshman, his long-term upside is through the roof and has NBA potential written all over him. Mark Pope has stayed red hot on the recruiting trail all offseason and continues to reload and reshape this Kentucky roster with high upside talent, and Mark Pope and the Wildcats get yet another big recruitment win with Braydon Hawthorne heading to Lexington next season. And there will be a lot more news coming soon, as college players who declared for the NBA draft have until May 28th to decide if they're going pro and staying in the draft, or if they are heading back to school next year. And we have big names like Otega Oweh out of Kentucky, Tahad Pettiford out of Auburn, Milos Uzan out of Houston, and Yaxel Lindenberg, who committed to Michigan, who have not yet made their decision but will do so in the coming days, and we'll make sure to break it all down. But let me know in the comments what you think of all of the latest transfer portal and recruiting news, and who do you think is going to have the biggest impact next season in college basketball. Also, if you've enjoyed the content, please make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, as we'll continue to be bringing all the latest news and updates in college basketball and the transfer portal, and we'll see you in the next one.